What's the real story of Marillion's masterpiece, and what dark secrets does Misplaced Childhood hold? Misplaced Childhood is an album that toppled the charts and catapulted Marillion from relative obscurity to the heights of rock stardom. The album, released in June 1985, was Marillion's third LP and quickly soared to the top of the UK albums chart. Led by singer Fish, Marillion's Misplaced Childhood is a sprawling and ambitious record. The band pushed its progressive sound to its limits, crafting a kaleidoscopic album that explored themes of innocence, escapism, and heartbreak. There's no denying the legacy of Misplaced Childhood, an ambitious and timeless record that remains as relevant today as ever. So let's dive into the story of Marillion's masterpiece. Misplaced Childhood started like any other Marillion album, with a blank canvas. Fish and the band wanted to create something ambitious, something progressive, and something that would build on the foundation already laid by the band's two previous releases. But while the band was in the early stages of writing and recording, Fish had a life-changing experience. After receiving an envelope with a tab of acid in it from an old girlfriend, Fish decided to take it while sitting at home alone one night. The acid trip proved to be a revelatory experience for Fish and heavily influenced the writing of Misplaced Childhood. In particular, the experience inspired Fish to combine personal reflections and experiences with more abstract concepts such as innocence and escapism. At around 7 p.m. on a warm summer's evening, Fish was starting to feel overwhelmed and decided to ride his bicycle over to Steve Rothery's cottage nearby. But after a short while, the drug's effects were too much, and Fish asked Rothery to drive him home. Once he safely returned home, Fish quickly got to work putting his visions and feelings into words. The acid trip opened up a new creative channel for Fish, resulting in some of the deepest and most personal lyrics he had ever written. After the concept was cooked up during his acid trip, Fish and the rest of the band relocated to Hans Ton Studio in West Berlin in late 1984 to record the album with Rolling Stones producer Chris Kimsey. The sessions lasted 3 months, and the band worked non-stop to capture the dense soundscapes of Misplaced Childhood. Though the recording process was undoubtedly productive, it's a miracle the group made it out alive, with Fish's wayward antics leading him on one occasion to strip off his clothes in Hitler's favorite restaurant and to throw bricks over the Berlin Wall in hope of setting off the multitude of landmines. "It was fun," Fish said. "In Berlin, nobody knew who we were, and we could do anything we liked. And I sampled it all." With tequila as the primary drink of choice, the band had session after session of recording, as well as what many would consider pure degeneracy. Yet they powered through, and soon the songs themselves were recorded. According to Fish, there was a good chance that Misplaced Childhood would have never made it big. In fact, it seems as if the album only made it big due to one big break. On May 20th, 1985, Marillion made their one and only appearance on The Terry Wogan Show. The show was primetime TV and provided the perfect shop window for any group with a single to promote. During the performance of Kaylee, Fish gave a shy smile to the camera after singing the final line, which broke every mother's heart in Great Britain, according to EMI head of promotions Malcolm Hill. Fish claims that this was the moment that lit the touch paper on Marillion's success. Kaylee soon shot up to number 2 in the charts, and Misplaced Childhood continued its upward trajectory until it reached number 1 in June, where it stayed for 3 weeks, cementing Marillion as a bona fide rock star band. The theme of Misplaced Childhood was inspired by Fish's life at the time and several other factors. He was inspired by watching childhood fade and the thrill of being in a rock band. Crucially, Fish was also inspired by his recent breakup with his girlfriend Kay. The album would be Marillion's most ambitious record, and one very much grounded in reality. Writing sessions for Misplaced Childhood began in the autumn of 1984 at Barwell Court, a Victorian pile located in Chessington, Surrey. Fish and the band worked quickly on this record and managed to write most of side 1 in just a week. The theme varied between the different songs, but all seemed to capture various aspects of Fish's life at the time. The most notable song, perhaps, Kaylee, captures Fish's heartache and loneliness from his breakup with Kay and is one of the most successful songs to come out of Misplaced Childhood. The song kept a traditional love song format, but Fish's heartfelt lyrics and Steve Rothery's signature guitar work helped make it an instant classic. The album had a huge impact on the music industry. and 30 years later it's still remembered as one of the greatest albums ever made. My memory is that it all came together very quickly," said Kelly. "We're in the process of writing an album now, and we're marveling at how we managed to write most of side 1 of Misplaced Childhood in a week. That's Pseudo Silk Kimono, Kaylee, Lavender, the multi-part Bittersweet, and Heart of Lothian. If only all albums were that easy," he continued. When it was released on June 17th, Misplaced Childhood quickly became a hit and soared to the top of the UK Albums Chart. The album was praised by critics and fans alike and is often cited as one of the greatest albums ever made. Fans praised the ambitious sound and Fish's personal lyrics, while critics lauded the band's ability to craft such a grandiose album. Criticism, however, couldn't reach the success of the album. Within one single year, Misplaced Childhood had sold 1.5 million copies, gone platinum, and become one of the most successful albums ever released. It was an instant classic and changed the genre of progressive rock for good. Fish, who commented on this album, said, "I'd started to move away from that forced falsetto and was finding my real voice." Misplaced Childhood was not only a commercial success, but it also marked a significant change in Marillion's sound and pushed forward rock as a genre. The fame and success that Misplaced Childhood brought to Marillion was a double-edged sword. The sudden influx of fame was too much for the band, and in particular for Fish. The singer began to heavily drink and party, alienating himself from the rest of the band. Rothery later explained that Fish craved that celebrity, and that was part of the conflict that eventually developed between us. By the time the band started work on their follow-up album, Clutching at Straws, Fish was gone, and the band was left to pick up the pieces. Though the band has since released a number of albums, none have received the same level of success or praise as Misplaced Childhood. While there has been some conflict between Fish and Marillion throughout the years, both parties still acknowledge its influence and place in rock history. Fish craved that celebrity, concurs the guitarist, and that was part of the conflict that eventually developed between us. He loved to drink and he loved to party, and some people in the band partied too hard. As for Fish, well, I had a lot to deal with on a personal and professional level, including my ego, he admits. I floated off into my own anal world and was a bit of an asshole. And really, it's that which makes Misplaced Childhood so special. Its stunning and ambitious sound, paired with Fish's deeply personal lyrics, makes for an album that is both timeless and heartbreaking. A true classic, Misplaced Childhood will forever be remembered as one of the greatest albums ever made. Although Misplaced Childhood is hauntingly beautiful, the story behind it, fraught with heartache, divisiveness, and a little bit of insanity, is what really makes the album so special. Fish's acid trip and its subsequent effects on the rest of the band is a fascinating look into the creative process and how it's possible to capture the highs and lows of life in an album. Misplaced Childhood will forever stand as a testament to Marillion's ambition and talent, and it certainly earned its place as one of the greatest albums ever made. Thanks for watching, and remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.